You're listening to ArTEEtude, a podcast with artists created and produced by Detlef Schlich, a visual artist and ritual designer, living and loving in West Cork, and best known for his essay about the cause and effect of shamanism, art and digital culture. Working in the field of performance, photography, painting, sound, installations, and film, he will dive and discover with us and a weekly creative guest into the unknown and exciting deep ocean of the creative mind.
This is Detlef Schlich, and today we dive into the unknown, unexpected, deep ocean of the creative mind together with Leo Rodas. I'm so happy to have Leo in my ArTEEtude show, because Leo is as well a member of Love West Cork Artists and a very active member actually, and I really like the way when he's gonna doing little scribblings of his drawings and set up the iPhone videos on I Love West Cork Artists page, and I think it's a nice way to share with other people art and the love of art. So it's great to have you on my show. Hi, Leo.
Hey, good morning. How you doing?
I'm great.
Thanks for having me over.
Yeah, that's so cool. I mean, oh God, dear listeners, first of all, I mean, we were now an hour. We were trying more than an hour to get this connection running, because Leo is on his smartphone and I'm via desktop, and something was somehow it didn't work. I don't know why, but now we are both online, and we have Leo here via his smartphone, and I'm as well on my desktop. That's great. Leo, cool. Yeah, like I've mentioned. So thank you for your membership in I Love West Cork Artists as well, and for your activities over there. That's really nice, you know. So I think you're really an asset for this group too.
And thanks very much. Appreciate it.
And I would say what we're gonna do is, like always, we have 3 episodes every Sunday at 7 o'clock in the morning. The first episode is now we will know more about Leo's growing up, because I didn't find the time as well to speak with him before much, and I'm curious as well about his background and then his growing up and somehow the motivation to become an artist. So, and then the second part we might gonna continue with that, and we will go in the second part and so more deeper into this issue when he started actually to do professional art or visual art or whatever. We will learn a lot about Leo. Leo, yeah, let's just start. So you live actually now in California, no?
Correct. Yes, I live in Vallejo, California, which is about 30 minutes from San Francisco, a very famous city in the world.
All right.
And in fact, that's where I grew up. I was born in Guatemala, Central America.
Okay.
And
Guatemala.
my parents decided to migrate to the United States, San Francisco, after my mother spent a vacation with her godmother over here. She really ended up enjoying California a lot and decided to bring us children over here as well. And I was all for it. The only one that was against it was my oldest brother.
All right. So how many years did you live in Guatemala?
I was 13 when I left Guatemala, so I was very young.
All right. So did you
really didn't have per se good relationships with anybody except my family, you know. So didn't have huge attachments with friends or anything like that. So it was easy for me to do the move. However, my big brother did have a girlfriend, so he was hurting a lot when we moved over here. He was not too happy that he couldn't see his girlfriend anymore.
Yeah, okay. But how was it? How was it in Guatemala? Did you live there on the countryside or?
I lived in the big city, Guatemala City, which is right in the center of the country, about hour and a half away from Antigua.
All right.
Antigua is another very famous city over there. Probably 4 hours away from Tikal, Bataan.
How many people used to live in the city where you were growing up
In the city. The funny thing is that as I left Guatemala City back in February 1971, the population had grown up to 1 million, which I'm sure is a lot more than that nowadays.
Like what you hear so far? Make sure you never miss a show by clicking the subscribe button now. This podcast is made possible by listeners like you. Thank you for your support. Now back to the show.
In fact, even San Francisco was not as populated as it is nowadays.
I can imagine that.
The funny thing is that I was able to always find parking right in front of my house when I was growing up there.
Yeah.
By the time I turned 19, population started just booming, and it used to take me anywhere from 45 minutes to an hour for me to locate a parking space in San Francisco.
No way.
Yeah, and it's a lot worse now.
I can't imagine that. But I mean, Guatemala was it a dangerous city? I mean, in the 70s. I mean, we know that. I mean, I used to be in Costa Rica and Panama, and I don't. I used to be there for 3 months, and Costa Rica, San Jose was quite tricky, quite dangerous. I mean, they robbed me once.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting. And I heard that Costa Rica was a very safe country. Yeah. I had no idea.
It is not. No, I would say. I mean, the city San Jose is not really safe. I mean, there are a lot of chances, you know. So I mean, there were eventually that was two men in police uniforms came, and they asked us for passports, and then we had to put our hands to the wall, you know. So like, and then they checked us for. I mean, we thought for weapons, but in the moment when they checked us, they took all the money out and everything, you know. So.
Oh wow!
And then but we didn't realize we were so intimidated by them that we didn't say anything, you know. So I was wondering how it was at the time when you were in Guatemala. So
you know, it's funny because I really don't recall any dangerous situations like that growing up. But then again, you know, I was with my parents, and you know, we used to go out as a group, and my parents were very protective to us. And when we used to get out of the city, we used to catch the train and, you know, go to the beach or go to Antigua or different places in the city via train. Very seldom we went by bus. You know, and sometimes, we will go with the relatives on their vehicles. They had their own car.
All right.
Yeah, my dad did not have a car till I was probably 15. That's when he decided to buy a car.
All right.
Yeah, before then, he would catch the taxi or ride his bicycle. You know, the distances were not that big at that time.
Yeah. And did you enjoy your life in Guatemala?
Very much, yeah. There's good memories of it, yeah. Like I said, I really don't have any sour memories about it. The only one that's kind of puzzling is when I was about 4 years old. My parents asked me if I wanted to go to school because my brother did not want to go along. And so I started in kindergarten at the age of 4.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is that my first day of school, I remember grabbing my books and walking out with my brother, and we were holding hands. And all of a sudden, I look up in the sky and I see the American Mustang airplane shooting at everything on the ground.
What did
and the funny thing is that in my mind, it's like, Oh, they finally decided to make a war movie in my country.
Oh,
And of course, seconds after, I hear my mother screaming. It's like, get back here, Leo. Come on, get back here. My aunt runs out of the house, picked us up under her arms, and took us inside the house. And they made us crawl under our beds. And sure enough, my uncle and my brother and I, we went out to the backyard next day and found, bullet slugs on the ground and holes from all the shooting the
from
day
the
before.
Americans.
So,
And
from the United States.
And what
They were
was it
trying
that
to overthrow our president at that time. And I looked in history, and sure enough, the problem had been around for quite a while, which is something that I was not aware of as a child, because, like I said, our parents protected us so well that.
So it was in the 70s.
Oh no, this was way before. Like I said, I was born in 1957.
61.
I was, say 1961, yeah.
61.
That was very unusual, to see that. Like I said, in my mind as a child, I thought they were making a movie.
Yeah.
It was real. It was real bullets.
Sure, but I mean, that means that was really quite dangerous, wasn't it?
It was very dangerous, yeah. And like I say, military attacking civilians is like, that's scary. Now, as an
really
adult, it's
scary.
like, I'm happy I survived that one.
But I mean, I must say, so okay, you used to be 4 years old, and did anybody die or get injuries from this attack?
I'm sure that there was a few deaths. Yeah, if you look at history, yeah, there was deaths.
And in your neighborhood,
it had to do with United States stepping in and overthrowing our president and putting their own president, to run the country. So a lot to do with that, controlling the country.
Yeah, I know. I mean,
but my dad was an artist. He always painted.
Yeah.
And my mother was a fashion designer, so she always sketched.
So they were creative people, and
they were very creative people. Yeah, my dad used to love to tinker with everything. He made all kinds of toys for us, electronic toys that had a Ferris wheel and all kinds of nice things that he used to do for us. Made a projector for us to watch slides. So he was very, very creative. Used to do carpentry. And his job at that time when we were kids, he used to be the technician at the movie theater. And,
all right.
Meanwhile, while he was running the movies, he will watch it once or twice, but then he will get bored watching the same movie because he will run the same movie over and over, 3-4 times a day, 7 days a week. So what he will do is he got into painting, and I used to go visit him, take his lunch, and I used to watch him paint at times.
Yeah.
That kind of attracted me, and when I started holding a pencil, I decided to start scribbling too and start art. So all my life I did art. I was not a professional artist till 2018, and before, people used to see me doing artwork. When I will be on the telephone, I will be scribbling or drawing something on my notepad.
Yeah.
And a lot of times people will come by and say, oh, you're an artist. I'm like, yeah, I like drawing. People ask me to draw their portraits, and I used to do that for them. But on 2018, I was going through an injury and trying to recover from it. And out of boredom, I started doing a lot more art.
Yeah.
Well, my two boys saw me doing art at that time, and they say, Dad, you seem to do real good. Maybe you should try going.
So how old? So 2018. That means we speak about 3 years ago, actually.
Yeah, 3 years ago. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah.
So this. How old are your children?
Oh, my oldest one is going to be 40 this coming year. So he's 39 right now. Mm-hmm. And my youngest one is 32 at this time.
32. All right. And they never ever realized your talent before, or what was the first time that they saw you?
They had seen him, and in fact, I showed my oldest son a drawing one time that he was admiring somebody's art.
Yeah.
And he said to me, "Oh, you don't draw as good as this person." So I said, "Well, it all has to do with time. You gotta take the time to do good art." And yeah, I do real good art too. So I showed him a sketch I had done of 1936 Chevrolet Suburban.
Yeah.
And he was very impressed and in fact, a lot of people have enjoyed that drawing I like, because I put a lot of detail on it. But that was a drawing that took me almost 3 months to do, on and off, putting in an hour or two at a time. So hour-wise, I really don't know how many hours I put into it, but it has a lot of detail in it. And I still enjoy the drawing a lot. And then I started my own page on Instagram.
Yeah.
And I met a lot of artists through Instagram. Seems to be a platform that artists go to a lot.
It is. It is. I mean, I must say, I think that this all happens probably through the glitch in which we came in 2019, isn't it? That a lot of artists realize, that's now our new online gallery, because we can't really exhibit and all that, So yeah. Instagram. Huge.
So I met a lot of artists through there.
Yeah.
And I always did pencil drawings. And I met this young guy from Africa, and he draws with ballpoint pen.
With what?
In fact, he did a drawing of Leonardo da Vinci, and that's how I met him, because I was admiring this drawing. I could not believe that it was done with ballpoint pen. Yeah. And, talking to him via Instagram, I said, how do you do it? How is it that you draw with pen and not make any mistakes? And he says, you just have to go for it. So I went ahead and tried it out myself, and it worked out good, because now I'm drawing portraits with ballpoint pen, and I do not use a pencil anymore.
But I love to work with ballpoint pens, because I love this tiny difficile black lines,
Yeah, that you can put a lot of detail with it. Yeah,
I really like it. That's cool.
But yeah, and then lately, about a year or two ago, I decided to open up a page in Facebook. And the thing I noticed is that the friends that follow me and I have on Facebook are people that I'm able to reach, because they're pretty much local in the Bay Area.
Yeah.
And a lot of them are artists, and we spend time together, create, do art, hire a model and do drawings from my life model sometimes.
Lovely.
Also, because of Facebook, I was offered a commission last year in Christmas time.
Yeah.
And I went ahead and applied for it, and I won the commission by February of last year, and it entailed me designing sculpture for public works. And
all right,
the program was financed by Soul Trans, which is our bus company here in Vallejo.
All right.
And so 6 of us local artists from Vallejo were hired, and I was one of them. The original design that I had made for Vallejo City did not win. However, they did like my idea, and they decided to have me make it into a mosaic medallion.
Yeah.
And, yeah, very proud of it. They did a beautiful write-up of me as an artist, which is pretty much what you and I have gone over. Really enjoyed the project and got to meet a lot of artists there. Yeah.
I would say, dear people, dear listeners, what you can do is if you go to the I Love West Cork Artists page, or as well on Leo's page, what I will gonna put into my description as well, you can probably follow somehow Leo's progress, and I think it's a great example that it's never too late to start being creative. You know. Yes, and trying to change the world with art. I mean, it's unbelievable. So I would say on this note, we are all almost at the end of the first episode, the first part, and we will for sure continue in the second part with Leo's adventures as late artist. I would like to know then a little bit more as well about the time in Guatemala, and we will continue with this for sure then in the next episode on next Sunday at 10 a.m. Last but not least, I would say, so you can follow this podcast on www.ArTEEtude.com or on any podcast host like Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, etc. If you want to contact the Isle of West Cork Artists group, you are more than welcome to join us there and become a member and share your artwork as well over there. This is a listener-supported podcast as well, so you're more than welcome as well to leave a donation on Red Circle, or go as well to www.ArTEEtude.com, and there you're gonna see my artwork, which are gonna put somehow on merchandise, on marks, and I mean I still have to do acrylic stuffs and all that stuff. So, but you will find everything here in the description, and I would say we see us next week again, dear Leo.
Okay.
I'm happy to spoke to you now, and I'm happy to have you as well as member in the Isle of West Cork Artists. So
thank
you
very
much for that.
I appreciate you.
And take care, and bye-bye, dear listeners. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Have a good evening.
You have listened to ArTEEtude, West Cork's first art, fashion and design podcast. ArTEEtude, never so close again. That was too close.